Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome to another episode of the Non-Aviator Flight Sim series. In this one I'm going to specifically be talking about just the entire scope of charts if you want to understand in detail what is happening in your flight that you'll need for each airport. So I'm using SkyVector here as the example just to give you an idea of how you'd find them and what you'd do. I'm going to explain each chart in individual videos because otherwise this is going to turn into an hour long, and I'm trying to make these pretty short so that people can digest them as they need. And really, once you understand which charts you want and what they all do, which is what this video is going to cover, then getting into the details of understanding and using each one to the level that you'll need is something that makes more sense, and that you might go back to more often. But hopefully this you'll only need to look at once or twice to make heads or tails of things. So I've gone into SkyVector, I've hit flight plan, set up a flight that I'm going to head from Orlando to Kansas City. Again, you're not doing your actual flight planning, even though this says flight plan in here. I mean, you can go ahead and take stuff from SimBrief and put it in here. You could key it in if you wanted, but this isn't typically where you're generating a plan. You would generate it in SimBrief. For the sake of this video, though, I'm going to go ahead and take what SimBrief gave me, and we're going to put it in there. And so, at this point, this is the flight plan we've got. And so basically, we're using Red Sox 1 and M Homes 3 on each end, and then these are kind of the points that we're going in between. So you can see, it's a little bit less of a direct route, but this is how air traffic gets routed around, as we talked about in other videos, if you want to understand kind of the overall aeronautical charts of the traffic in between, or at least be introduced to those. Go to the video that I'll link here, and that will talk about the various things that kind of explain, or give you a little bit of understanding of, hey, what are they doing when they're taking me this way, and what are all these dots on the map and so forth. So once you're in here, when you hover over these hyperlinks, you're going to get the access to all the charts that are available. There's multiple ways to get in here. I'm just going to show the one way. If you click on this, you'll get to the page for the airport, and all these charts are down there as well. So we'll start at the start when you're leaving the airport, you're departing. So you're starting at the departure airport. You're going to want an airport diagram. Your airport diagram is going to basically give you the layout of things on the ground. Again, go to the airport diagram video to understand more about what it shows you, what might be useful information. Next, you're leaving. So you're looking for departure procedures. In this case, again, this is why you need to know what your flight plan is to get the right chart. We're looking for Red Sox 1, and you're always going to want to look at everything available for Red Sox 1. So there's 2 pages to this. So you'd open both pages. Again, I will cover this detail of what that is in a separate video. Then you're going to fly in between. That's where you can use, the other charts if you really want to just follow with charts. You could try to get those, but these are basically your FAA sectionals kind of pieced together here by SkyVector. I've not found a great source for non-US charts. There's a site called ChartFox, which is the best I've found, but it's nothing to the level or the update frequency that I've seen with SkyVector. So that was one of the reasons I ended up moving to a paid Navigraph subscription, because that's the only thing that's guaranteed to kind of cover the whole world, and that is kept up to date as well. We're not really worried about anything in between, because you're usually, frankly, not going to need charts in Flight Sim for those areas unless you're just choosing to simulate something much more real world than most would be doing. So then on the other end, you're kind of dealing with these points, Critney and M Homes. And so now you're on the destination. You're now going the opposite way. You're coming from the air toward the ground. So you're going to need the airport diagram at some point, but that's your last piece. So you've got that, so we've kind of done it out of order. But on arrival, you potentially are dealing with two different sets of charts. You're dealing with a standardized terminal arrival, or a STAR. And in this case, again, we were looking for M homes. And you can see there's 3 pages for M homes. So you'd look at those, and there will be a separate video on specifically stars as well. And then your last point is then your approaches, your instrument approach procedures, and you've got a few variations sometimes. So you're looking for whatever runway you're coming in. In this case, our flight plan is taking us to 19 right. So we have one here, we have one here, and then we have another one here. So you potentially have 3 to look at. Again, I will cover those in subsequent videos because, as you might imagine, each of them can get pretty detailed. But that gives you what you need to understand what charts are going to be of use to you to get information that you need. Okay, if you do choose eventually to go the route of Navigraph and have a paid subscription, this is the same route here, and you just go to this airport charts, and then here again you'll have stars, you'll have your approaches. Taxi's going to give you your airport charts, so any of these buttons are charts, and then you have your standard instrument departure, or SIDS, that you have there, and you just click on your other airport and you'll get the opposite end, so you can use the ones you want and need. So that should give you the very basics you need of the type of charts that are going to be helpful for you in flight simming. If you've enjoyed this and haven't dropped a like, please consider that. If you are not a subscriber yet to the channel, please consider that. And I will see you next time.